Cameron, the chef from Connecticut. Good morning, Dad. Good morning, son. Today is the day. Yes, Dad. I can't wait to help you in the kitchen. I love working together, son. Your cousin Sam's wedding is today, and we need to prepare a few dishes for the guests. What do you have in mind, Dad? Few appetizers, the main dish, and some sweets. What about the wedding cake, Dad? We will not have time to do everything, so I called a pastry shop to help us with the wedding cake. Since your cousin is marrying a lady from the Middle East, we will have Middle Eastern themed food. I love Middle Eastern food, Dad. What's on the menu? We will have hummus, baba ganoush, sometimes called mutable for appetizers, sumac chicken with olive oil baked in the oven, also called moussakon, as the main dish, and the wedding cake will be the sweet dish. Do we have all the ingredients, Dad? I think we do, son. For the hummus, we need 4 cans of chickpeas, a cup of yogurt, sesame paste, also called tahini, fresh lemon juice, olive oil, ground cumin, salt, and garlic. Please open the chickpea cans for me while I mix the tahini, lemon juice, a pinch of salt, and garlic in the food processor. All 4 cans are open, Dad. What's next? We add the chickpeas to the food processor and let it run for a minute. Then we add the plain yogurt according to taste. I think for our quantity, we need about half a cup. I will also add 4 teaspoons of olive oil and a teaspoon of the ground cumin. Let the food processor run for a couple of minutes or more until the hummus is creamy smooth. After about 3 minutes, the hummus was done, and Dad emptied the contents in 5 dishes. Olive oil was added at the top of the hummus dish, as well as parsley for garnish. Looks great, and smells even better, Dad. Can I taste? Sure, son. The taste is amazing, Dad. That was quick and easy. It is very healthy too. All the ingredients are very healthy. Chickpeas have a lot of protein, fiber, and minerals. Olive oil is very healthy for the heart, and the garlic has many health benefits. We can check the ingredients' health benefits online later. Let's move on to making baba ganoush. We need 4 male eggplants, garlic, lemon juice, and tahini. Male eggplants, Dad? Why and how do you tell male from female eggplants? Male eggplants have less seeds, and their seeds taste less bitter. They have a shallow indentation at their bottom. Let's begin by roasting the eggplants in the oven. After about 20 minutes, the eggplants were done roasting. Cameron and his dad were ready to mix the ingredients. They peeled off the eggplants, mushed them with a spatula, and mixed them with garlic, lemon juice, tahini, and a pinch of salt. Olive oil and parsley were added at the top. Great job, son. Baba ganoush dish is ready. Not sure if any of the wedding invitees have nut allergies. However, it is also customary to garnish both dishes with roasted pine nuts, which adds to the flavor. The smell of the baba ganoush dish is amazing, Dad. And just like the hummus dish, it is very healthy, son. Lots of fiber and vitamins in the eggplants, and many health benefits in the other ingredients. Dad, do we use spoons to eat these 2 dishes? You can, son. However, the tradition is to eat them using pita bread. You make a small bite-sized scoop from the bread and take a bit of the hummus or the mutable and eat it. If you prefer to use a spoon or a knife to put the hummus on the bread, that works too. These 2 dishes are very popular breakfast items in the Middle East, and many eat them with jalapeno pepper and take sips from a cup of tea with each bite. Didn't know there was a lot of tradition around these dishes, Dad. Food dishes are very local, son. Each culture has its own favorites for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Becoming a chef is not only about learning how to mix food ingredients, but also about learning the cultures and the flavors. I thought just following the steps to make a dish is enough, Dad. It might be enough to make a dish that looks like the original, however. To make an authentic dish, one should learn it from the local culture. I visited many places and learned how to make their local dishes, so I can make as close to an authentic dish as possible. Let's move on to the next dish, son. The chicken dish, Dad? Yep. This dish could be cooked in a couple of ways. We can either cook everything in the oven or stir-fry the chicken in a sauté pan first. I will use the oven method. Where do we start, Dad? We will begin with preparing the chicken, then put it in the oven. While the chicken is cooking, we will cook the onions. How about you help me with mixing the spices for the dish? We need to mix sumac, cardamom, cumin, allspice, salt, pepper, coriander, and nutmeg. The spices are ready, Dad. Great, son. Let me rub these spices on the chicken legs and thighs. We also need to add olive oil to the chicken. It adds a lot to the flavor. Cameron, can you hand me that baking pan, please? Here you go, Dad. Thanks, son. I'll put the chicken in the oven to cook for about an hour. Now let's work on the onions. How many onions do we need, Dad? We need 3. They need to be coarsely chopped and mixed with some salt, sumac, and some of the spice mixture you made. These onions will cook in a sauté pan until they are soft. Their color will change to dark purple because of the sumac color. This roasted onion smell is so good, Dad. I feel hungry already. We will also roast some pine nuts. They are usually added on top of the chicken for added flavoring. The chicken is ready, Dad. Great. Let's take it out of the oven. I got some Indian flatbread or naan from the store, since taboon bread is not available. We can also use pita bread. What is the bread for, Dad? Serving the dish, son. We will now put the cooked onions on the bread, and put olive oil on the bread edges, sprinkle the pine nuts, and put the bread in the oven for about 3 to 4 minutes, until the bread is brown. The bread is ready, Dad. Great. Now we combine. Give me some dishes, please. Here you go, Dad. Okay, I'll put 1 piece of bread with the onion on it in each dish, then put the chicken and sprinkle some more pine nuts and sumac. The dishes are ready, son. They smell and look great, Dad. Cooking should engage our senses, son. It should look great, smell amazing, taste delicious, and make us hear the compliments from the guests. I think the guests are starting to arrive, Dad. Let me go help Cousin Sam greet them. I'll be with you soon. Appreciate your help today, son. I enjoyed it a lot, Dad, and want to help more in the future. More guests arrived, and the wedding cake also arrived in the afternoon. After the wedding vows, everyone was talking about the appetite-opening smell coming from the food table. Cameron's dad told the guests how Cameron helped in the kitchen to prepare the appetizers and the main dish. Everyone was impressed. That night Cameron had a dream. In the morning, he woke his dad up to tell him about it. Dad, I had a dream last night. Good morning, son. What was the dream about? I became a chef, just like you, Dad. I was in a very big restaurant, and I was working with many other people. There was a big event, I think it was a wedding too, and we made everything, the appetizers, the main dishes, and the desserts. I was wearing a long hat, like the one you wore yesterday. The restaurant made dishes from different cultures, American, Chinese, Indian, Middle Eastern, and Mexican. There were so many flavors and so many customers. Nothing unifies the world like food, son. We all need to eat, and every culture has its local taste and takes on the food they prepare and eat. Many people love the dishes from other cultures when they get the chance to try them. You know, one of my favorite dishes is chicken tikka masala, which is an East Asian dish, mansaf and musakon, which are Middle Eastern dishes, among many others. I love these dishes too when you make them, Dad. I was also making these dishes in my dream. Maybe we can work together again in the kitchen, and you can help me prepare and cook these dishes. Sure, Dad, can't wait.